to broadcast the hearing on YouTube. If you're ever
Okay.
bored, I mean, really, really bored, you can always tune into my YouTube channel.
That sounds awesome, actually.
But as soon as that gets going, we're going to go on the record. Okay, Shannon, would you put us on, please? Okay, this is the matter of Holmes versus Trudell. And according to my docket, it appears we're here on looks like Mr. Trudell's objections to a proposed final order. When I get objections to a proposed final order, about the only thing I can do, unless I can get the two of you to work something out, is to schedule the matter for essentially a trial. So, Mr. Trudell, you would like to have 50-50 custody, is that correct?
Yeah, well, I have joint legal custody with her right now, but my parenting time is every other weekend and 1 day a week, and that's just not enough for me. I want to have 50-50 parenting time, and also...
That's what I understood. And ma'am, I assume you're opposed to that. All right, so I really don't have any choice except to schedule the matter for a trial. I will direct my secretary who schedules such things to find a date on my calendar. It's going to be a little while, but as soon as I can, I'll get you both in here. At a trial, I will hear from you and from any witnesses that you would like to present, and I will make a decision based on what I believe is in Atticus's best interest. How old is Atticus?
Atticus is 2.
Pardon? Okay.
He turned 2 on Monday.
Oh, all right. So there was something else you wanted to say, sir?
Yeah, I just want to ask Cassandra, because she won't answer this question for me. I want to know why she does not have 50-50 custody or parenting time with our son. Because I haven't got one clue on why she would never want me to have our son 50-50 of the time. I just don't know.
I have a whole stack of papers that we can discuss when we have our trial.
Do you have concerns about Atticus's safety or care when Atticus is a boy, I assume?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
When he's with his father.
There are some concerns, yes.
What are the concerns?
What concerns would that be?
I just asked the question, sir. You need to wait and let her answer.
Okay.
I've showed up at Cody. I've showed up at Cody's house, and Atticus is in the driveway playing with a power drill with a bit in it, while Brooke and Cody are just sitting right next to him. And when I asked him what he had, Cody said the power drill I'm letting him play with. And I said, you know he can poke his eye out with that, and he says he can poke his eye out with his finger. He's just not a responsible parent. Atticus comes home with scrapes and bruises all the time, and they keep...
Well, hold on, Mr. Trudell, I want you to listen, okay?
Okay, I do.
They say that he falls all the time, and I know that's because they have at least 5-6 kids there all the time running around. It's hard for them to keep track of him, and that worries me because he does come home with scrapes and bruises all the time. Obviously not because of abuse or anything, but because I feel he doesn't get watched as well as he should.
Okay. So
Your Honor,
hold on. Listen to me.
I'm going to.
I'm not doing a trial today.
I know.
I thought it was fair that you know what her objections are before you come into a trial so that you have the ability to address those. I don't want to hear your response to this stuff today. I'm not even going to remember it between now and the next time you're in front of me. So save your words until the trial. I will certainly listen very closely to what you have to tell me at the trial, what both of you have to tell me. One of the reasons
Okay.
I asked for Atticus's age is because when a child is old enough to express a preference, I'm required to interview the child. Atticus obviously is way too young for that. So I just wanted
Right.
to make sure. So there's nothing really that I need to do between now and a trial for me to be ready for the trial. There are things that the two of you will want to do. Mr. Trudell, you've heard what mom's concerns are. If you have someone besides yourself that you want to have testify, if they'll appear voluntarily, just have them appear. If
Okay.
if they need to be compelled to appear by subpoena, you can ask the court to issue a subpoena, and I will do that. You need to make arrangements for having it served. And like I said, don't worry about setting the record straight today, because I'm not going to remember it between now and the next time you come here. But we will get the matter scheduled for a trial. In the meantime, I expect you to follow the temporary order, the recommended order that is now a temporary order until such time as I can rule on it.
I was wondering, because the order that's in place now is Wednesdays and every other weekend. However, we've been agreed to do Thursdays because it makes it less that he has to go back and forth.
You folks can always agree to modify what's in place as long as you're both in agreement. We don't, the only time you really need to strictly follow an order is if you disagree.
Right.
And that becomes the rule. But anytime you can agree to change the weekend, to extend the weekend, to provide additional time, to make modifications, I encourage you to do that. I think it's always better when parents can talk and be flexible. Things come up, grandparents' birthday, a party for a cousin or something, things like that happen. The best thing you can do is to work together on that.
Okay, and I never got anything about the Zoom thing. Is our trial going to be Zoom or?
The trial will be Zoom.
Okay.
We'll make sure you get that Zoom notice.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
But apparently, Mr. Trudell, you did get something about a Zoom hearing.
Well, my wife had a court date with her daughter, and she had to call down first. So I just did that, and the clerk said that it was a Zoom meeting, not to be in person. So I was like, okay.
Yeah, we try to do as much by Zoom as we can. That reduces the number of people that are in the courthouse at any given time and makes it safe for everybody. I like the Zoom. It's always better if I can see someone, but if you don't have that capability, then we do audio.
Okay, I've never used it before, so I don't know.
Yeah.
Is that just something you do on your phone, or do you have?
You can do it on your phone. You can do it on a computer. You can do it on a notebook, like an iPad, or there are lots of ways. And they're in the Zoom instructions that you will get. It tells you how and when to zoom in. And yes, we much prefer to do it that way.
Okay.
And if you have witnesses, you will want them to have those instructions so they can zoom in.
Okay, cool.
Okay? Any other questions today?
Nope.
How soon will my court date be for the trial?
It's going to be at least 3 weeks because I'm getting ready to be gone for a couple of weeks. But it wouldn't normally be any sooner than that anyway. Just as soon as we can find a slot on my calendar to squeeze you in, we'll do that.
Okay, because I want to get this taken care of as fast as possible.
Sure, I'm sure you do.
Because I don't see my son enough. It's not enough.
All right, fair enough.
And he's got brothers and sisters over here that he doesn't see enough. That's the reason why we have 5 kids over here.
All right,
down.
I'll address all of that when you're back. You're going to have to remind me of all of this because like I told you, I'm not going to remember.
I will, sir.
No, I did text Cody this morning and didn't get a response. I just want to make sure he is picking up Atticus this morning.
Are you picking up Atticus this morning?
Yeah, I really wished she wouldn't have sent him to Albion or Battle Creek before, because I didn't have to go.
All right. So there's
She
your
had a
answer.
babysitter though. Me.
All right. Have a good day.
Thank you.
You're welcome. All right, we're all done, ma'am. You can leave.
Okay, so how am I just gonna get something in the mail?
Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you.
Okay, so we're still waiting on attorneys, but it looks like I've got a matter I can handle now. Adams versus Adams. You could all come forward, please. So, ma'am, if you could sit on this side, and sir, which one of you is?
That is Tyler on the end.
Oh, okay. All right, give me just a moment to write a note before I forget to do something.
And then who are you, sir?
I'm her.
It's Daniel Iron.
Yeah.
He's mentioned in the papers.
Okay, I'm just making a record about.
Oh,
She has to make an entry of
Oh.
everyone who's here.
So, I mean, who are you regarding in this case?
JC's biological father.
Gotcha. Thank you.
Okay, so this case is scheduled for a pretrial today. And what I do at a pretrial is determine whether or not it's going to be necessary to have a trial. Because of what you just told me, we have a child that was born during the marriage that is not Mr. Adams' child. Is that correct?
Yes, sir.
So I do have to address that. Before I do that, though, let me ask you, have the two of you already separated your personal property?
Yes, we have.
Do you own any real estate?
No.
Is there any dispute as to who's responsible for what debts?
No.
Are any of you seeking any interest in retirement plans, annuities, life insurance policies, et cetera, on the other person? And you both want to be divorced?
Yes, sir.
Okay. You've got a temporary order that's in place. Has that been working out for you?
This is actually the same order that we've actually had for 4 years without it being on paper, so yes.
Okay. So now it's on paper, and you've been following it for a long time. So what would happen is we would put that into the form of a final judgment of divorce. So who is the child in question?
My son, Jace Adams Iron.
Jace Adams Iyer, born April 20 of 2017.
Correct.
Okay, so what I'll do is take some testimony first from you, ma'am. Would you raise your right hand, please? You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
State your full name for the record.
Courtney Nicole Adams.
Ms. Adams, you filed a complaint for divorce back in February. Was everything in that complaint for divorce true at the time that you filed it?
Yes, sir.
And is it still true today?
Yes, sir.
So I understand that there are three minor children born or adopted during your marriage to Mr. Adams.
Correct.
Sophia, born November 5th of 2012, right?
Yes.
Serenity Adams, born December 8th of 2013.
Yes.
And Jace Adams Iyer, born April 20 of 2017.
Yes.
We'll get to Jace in a minute. Is there any possibility of you and Mr. Adams reconciling?
No.
Okay, so Jace was born during the marriage, but you do not believe Jace to be the biological child of Mr. Adams?
That is correct.
Is there any physical way possible that Mr. Adams could be the biological father of Jace?
No, sir.
Can you testify today that you were not having sexual relations with Mr. Adams at the time Jace was conceived?
That is correct.
How When was the last time you had relations with Mr. Adams prior to Jace's birth?
When I conceived my second child, to be honest with you, Your Honor.
So back in
It would've
2012?
been- It would have been March of 2013.
March of
March,
2013?
April 2013, yeah.
All right. I cannot determine who is the father in this action. I can only determine that Mr. Adams is not the father. Okay. Mr. Adams, let me ask you, would you raise your right hand, please? You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
Do you agree the last time you had sexual relations with Ms. Courtney Adams was sometime in 2013?
Yes, sir.
That there's no physical way possible that you could be the father of Jace Adams Iyer?
Yes, sir.
All right, based upon the testimony, I do find that Jace Adams Iyer is not the issue of this marriage, and that Mr. Adams is not the father of this child.
That is correct.
You can have the biological father established as the legal father now. You do that typically by doing an affidavit of parentage. So that basically resolves all of our issues. Now all we need is to get a judgment of divorce entered. I'm assuming you didn't prepare one before you came to court today?
I was told this was all I needed, that everything,
All right, well, that's not true, but we'll take care of it today. So I think what I'm gonna do, I see Mr. Fallahy's finally here. I wanna catch him while he's here. Why don't you folks have a seat, and I'll call you back up when I finish with this matter. I've been having trouble getting two lawyers present at the same time, and I wanna get this stuff done. It won't take very long, but I'm gonna fill out a judgment of divorce for you so that you will be divorced today, okay?
thank you.
You're welcome. Just have a seat. Good morning, Mr. Fallahy.
Good morning, Your Honor.
So nice of you to grace my courtroom with your presence today.
Well, thank you very much, Judge. It's very good to see you too, and I apologize for the delay.
Okay, first matter then that you're on, I guess the only one, is Bibler v. Bibler?
That's correct, Judge.
All right, and I see that Ms. Bibler is present. Were you expecting Mr. Bibler? I don't think I've seen him all morning.
I don't think we're anticipating him, Judge. I hope that the judgment of divorce made it into your court file there. I submitted it it must have been last week because I was out of town over the weekend.
You know what? I think I did see that. Yes, indeed, it's here.
Good.
Your Honor,
So,
Joe, Mr. Bibler told me that he wasn't gonna be able to make it this morning too.
okay, fair enough. So, Ms. Bibler, would you raise your right hand, please? You do swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
Please state your full name for the record.
Joni Lynn Bibler?
Go ahead, Mr. Fallahy.
Thank you, Your Honor. Joni, do you recall signing the complaint for divorce in this case?
I do.
Were the allegations in the complaint true when you signed the complaint?
Yes, they were.
Do they remain true today?
Yes, they do.
Do you think that there's any chance for reconciliation between yourself and Joseph Bibler at this point?
No, there's not.
You and Mr. Bibler and I have all signed a consent judgment of divorce, which has been presented to the court. Do you think that's a fair resolution of all the issues to dissolve your marriage?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. I don't have any further. I'm sorry. Are you pregnant at this time?
No, I'm not.
Thank you. Had to ask. I don't have any further questions.
I have one more. Ms. Bibler, did you have any children during this marriage that were not Mr. Bibler's children?
Yes, I did.
And who is that?
Delilah Marie Bibler.
Mr. Falley, I think we're going to have to address that.
I think we already did, Judge. This court already signed an order that the child is not a child of the marriage, and so there should
Oh,
be.
you're right. I see it right here. Order declaring a minor child born out of wedlock. I didn't look in the file. That looks like that testimony was taken by referee Susan Murphy,
Yes.
and I countersigned the order. All right, well, good. That does make it easier. I'm satisfied based on the proofs that there's been a breakdown in the marriage. To the extent the objects of matrimony have been destroyed, there remains no reasonable likelihood that the marriage will be preserved. Ms. Bibler, can you confirm that that is indeed Mr. Bibler's signature that appears on the consent judgment of divorce?
I can confirm it. He handed it to me.
Okay, very good. You are divorced, ma'am. Mr. Falley will make arrangements for getting copies of the consent judgment to you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you very much, Judge. Thanks, Joni.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
You too.
Okay, we're back on Adams versus Adams. Okay, all I need to do now is to get this divorce judgment filled out. Peter, this is something you're going to learn to do. But for today, I'm going to do it. Ms. Adams, are you still living at 7959 Cabot Drive?
Correct.
Mr. Adams, where are you living now?
I'm actually living at the same location.
Well, I saw that on the order.
It's true, Your Honor.
Okay. Do you have any ownership in that residence?
My parents own the residence,
Oh, okay,
and we're both renting through her.
okay. Ma'am, do you wish to have your last name changed?
No.
This consent judgment will provide that all beneficiary rights and pension rights are extinguished. that each is awarded the property in your possession, that you own no real estate.
I have one question, Your Honor.
Go ahead.
In regards to, like, if, like, for his death benefits, because they would be going to our children, if his paperwork states that I'm still the beneficiary, or how does that get changed? So that.
This will extinguish that, but he can do that simply by changing the beneficiary designation to his children.
Okay.
That'll take care of that. You would want to get that taken care of right away.
Sorry.
Okay, and you both would like me to sign this consent judgment of divorce today? I do find for the record that the objects of matrimony have been destroyed. There remains no reasonable likelihood that the marriage can be preserved. And I am signing the judgment of divorce. Peter, if you could please make 2 copies, and then, yeah, and then we can just send this downstairs.
Sure thing.
Thank you.
Yep.
All right, you can have a seat. As soon as he makes a copy, he'll give you each a copy, and you're officially divorced. You're welcome. All right, we're still waiting on Ms. Hamilton.